battle for Middle-earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Somebody's found peace into the abyss! It's my power. The great battle of our time.
Welcome to Zorpazorp Gaming. My name's Lachlan Linton Keane, and today we have got an absolute ripper of a stream. We have got some incredible live tournament action from a Warhammer tournament here in Brisbane, Australia at Bris Vegas Comics. We are in a very lucky part of the world where we get to play some games, ladies and gentlemen, and we have got a fantastic matchup today. So we have got 600 points of Daniel Jones's amazing Isengard coming through, and look at these models. And they are paired up against some beautiful, beautiful Dunland. It is the clash of the legendary legions. We've got the amazing Dunland from Ryan and the incredible Isengard from Daniel. So, without further ado, let's leap on here over and get on into the game. Hello, everybody. So, we've got, there is a delay on that screen. We're doing a bit of a different setup here today, guys. We have got a full-on streaming studio. We've got multi-camera. We've got our dice cam. We've got cams up the top. We've got, of course, this roving cam here, right here at the amazing Bris Vegas live streaming studio. I'm actually over in another room doing the commentary, which is why I had to do a full sprint. So, we've got two players today. It's quite disconcerting watching ourselves delayed.
I keep looking at myself.
Yeah, we've got a monitor here. It's good fun. So, 600 points today, guys. We've got Mr. Daniel Jones running the Isengard Legendary Legion, which is... it's good.
Yes,
it's good.
I'm excited.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So, take us through your 600 points. What do you got today?
So pretty generic today. I've basically just gone for the troops. So it is the captain, which is my leader. So he gets the extra attacks, extra wounds.
Yeah, nice.
With seven shields and swords, 7 pikes, banner. And then basically just copy that warband again for my second captain.
Beautiful.
7
All the
shields,
captains.
7 pikes, banner. And then I've got a shaman with 4 berserkers.
Yeah, lovely. Some berserker action. Excellent. And we're up against another fantastic Legendary Legion from Mr. Ryan Trades. We've got like the channel regulars today. Yeah, this is good stuff.
It's the following page in War and Rohan, actually.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. Yeah.
So it's the, I forget what this is actually called, Dunland something.
Army of Dunland, I
Legend
think.
Dunland, cool.
Yeah. Dunland. Lots of Dunland.
And it's pretty much all the named heroes. So if you go down the Dunland, if you look at the page, it's all of them.
All those new ones. So with the Frida and
Gorov,
and, yeah.
the Oathmaker, and I've got a captain in there too, a chieftain, excuse me,
yep.
in there, different to captains, 2 will points.
Yeah, it's a bit tougher.
And of course Thryden.
Of course,
must
Thryden,
have.
and he's mounted as well.
The only mounted dude in the whole battlefield.
Nice. He's sitting up on his horse. He's like ordering his little peasant Dunlanders around. That should be pretty fantastic. The scenario today is Breakthrough. It's one of the new scenarios from the Match Play Guide. I say new because we haven't been playing tournaments for like, a good while. But the book came out a little while ago now. But essentially we've got 4 key objectives on the battlefield. They're forming a cross and we'll have a look when we get to the top view. And we've got some different weightings which we'll go through in the commentary. But essentially, you guys are trying to get deep into each other's deployment zones, and it's going to be very, very interesting indeed. Well, good luck, gentlemen. Remember to roll in your dice box, and good luck. We're going to have a pretty ripper of a game. We'll get that sanitation going. I'm going to sprint back over to the commentary room and leave you in the hands of these guys, and you'll hear from me real soon. Back in a minute.
I'm so glad he's gone. Like,
Oh, man. It's awkward, but I guess you got to put up with him.
Tolerate him, yeah.
So does that mean we're just good to to
I
go.
don't know. I think so. Do you want to just roll it? And see if
All
it
work
starts?
because we're
Yeah,
doing
it comes
some
from
pretty
there.
serious mental stuff here. We've got some wicked action here. A huge shout out to the guys at Vegas Comics. I've got Liam controlling the setup for me in the room, and then I'm sitting here and check out this action. I can vision switch live between my beautiful angles. If that's gonna work. Oh, not that one. We want that one. Look at that, there's our top-down angle so we can see the action all happening today. And we've got the Dunland forces, Ryan's Dunland, are on the lower half of the board, the southern half, and then we've got the forces of Isengard up the north. So, it's going to be a pretty interesting game, and I'm pretty excited to see how it all unfolds. It looks like they're going through a few rules, and then we're going to be moving into priority for turn number 1. So, we've got the scenario. I'm going to leap over to the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear us well. Looks like there was a little bit of an audio issue earlier, but we got that fixed. Looks like we've got it all happening now, so huge thank you to Liam for sorting that out for me. Thanks, dude. No, I'm not playing Kenny. I'm just judging and commentating. So it's Daniel and Ryan. So I'm going to be sitting here for 2 hours with you guys, or however long this game goes for, and it's going to be interesting. All right, here we go. Sounds like priority's happening.
Right. So, 6, 3.
Big 6 for Daniel.
Big white hand.
Okay.
Do I want to call anything? Yes,
Yes,
I do. I want to
yeah.
call a march.
You're gonna call
All
it?
right, so we've got a heroic march being called by Ryan, and he's calling that with the chieftain on the left flank.
Will or fight value?
Yeah, I'll sort of drag it.
We've got, so while these guys are working out their heroics, I'm going to say, I'm excited to do this, guys. This is a pretty interesting skill set, trying to like commentate live a game that I'm not playing, that I'm not in the room for. So I'm pretty excited. Let me know how you guys think I'm doing, but let's have a look at these objectives. We can see them really clearly on the map there. We've got 4 objective markers. We've used the bigger 40mm objectives so they're nice and visual for you guys on the camera, and it's all about those VPs in terms of those objectives. So you'll notice that we're set up top down, so the Uruks with Dan Jones is up on the top of the screen, Orion's down the bottom. So we've got 2 objectives on the center line and then 1 in each other's deployment zone. And the interesting thing about Breakthrough is that each one of those objectives is worth a different weighting to each player. So let's have a read of it. You score 1 VP if there are more friendly models within 3 objectives, within 3 inches of the objective marker in your deployment zone. So you only get 1 VP for the one in your half, whereas conversely, you get either 2 VPs or 4 VPs for the objective marker in your opponent's half if you're outnumbering or claiming completely. So you really want to dive all the way through and get that big objective at the back of their lines. And then the 2 objectives on the center line are just worth 1 VP if you claim a majority, or 2 VPs if you claim it entirely. So we can see that Ryan has just called a heroic march over on that left flank. He's going to be sending a beautiful little hit squad of Dunlandings all the way around that left flank, which is going to be quite nice. And Dan has priority. We can see Dan making his moves there, and he's got just a real host of Isengard here. And it will be interesting to see how this game shapes up, because the Isengard shield wall this is a scenario that's built for them. They've got this fantastic ability to leverage their numbers, form a couple of flanks between these 2 houses, and really get in there and do some chopping. But we have to remember Dunland have some incredible heroes. I'll rip through all the profiles in a second, and we'll get a real sense of the armies and how this is going to unfold as these guys make their early moves. The only other objective criteria to consider is that you do get 1 point or 2 points for wounding and killing the leader, and you get 1 point for breaking. Now, when does the game end? It goes all the way down to a quarter, 25%. Now, I've got my compatriots' army lists here with me. I should probably switch the angle up. Let's go and have a look here. We can see Liam is having a little look here and catching some of that early action. We've got the Uruks making an advance. Oh my god, these camera angles are so good. This is so awesome. And let's have a look and see what camera 3's got for us at the moment. Camera 3's got our wide angle. Okay, so I got to remember to do some vision switching and not just talking. We can see Dan making the advance there here in the Vegas studio, and camera 1 is my top down. This is so cool. Are you guys enjoying this? I'm like freaking out. This is so much fun. Oh, okay, so what are we going to talk about for 2 hours? Well, as these players make our moves, it's time to start with, we'll have a little look at their lists, and work out what kind of. I'm trying to Alt Tab on the wrong program here. I want OBS. There we go. We'll have a little look at what kind of special rules are going to be in play, how we think the troops are going to be affecting the scenario. Yeah, I'm super excited for this. A huge shout out to one of the unspoken heroes of this live stream, and that is Mr. Ori Smit. This tournament here in Brisbane is being co-TO'd by Dan, Ori, and I, and right now I'm commentating and Dan is playing live on stream, so no one can be bugging us for tournament questions, so Ori is sharing the absolute brunt of the load today for this first round, and he is putting down... Oh, look at those models. He's putting in an epic effort. So we can see Dan's forming up his shield wall here. He's got his Uruk captain at the back right there with the sword raised. That's just the normal captain. And then the Uruk shaman, nice and safe at the back. And somewhere we should be able to find his super Urukai commander. So if we remember from the Rohan Legendary Legion, that commander has 3 attacks and 3 wounds, which is just absolutely insane. Looks like you guys are loving the camera work, so that's good. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. This is the kind of format where I'm going to be able to really easily engage with you guys in the chat, because I'm just sitting here talking. So if you've got questions about the armies or about the scenario, please fire out. I'm paying close attention to the chat today. Now let's go back to our top model. As we see, look, Dan's pushing forward here, and he is building a bit of a shield wall, trying to close off those back 2 objectives. We can basically say, pending some pretty serious flanking action, Dan's got a really strong grasp on that right objective. We'll call that the eastern objective. Now, that is his move over. We can see Ryan coming in and going for his big move, and he has got his heroic march on the left flank there, and he is firing up and cutting around. So this is a good play from Ryan, because straight away that's going to be putting pressure on how Dan is building his shield wall. The interesting thing will be how Ryan chooses to engage with his primary body of Dunlandings. Let's switch to our other camera and see if we can have a look at what we've got there. We can see the beautiful Dunlandings making the flanking maneuver there, and then we've got the main body of that Dunland force. Let's have a look at what we can see. Thryden isn't in this shield wall. That's Gorov, I believe his name is, and he has gone in and made a charge. So we have our first combat. Let's get War in Rohan open and start getting some of these profiles happening. We've got a pretty serious bunch of special rules as well for these Legendary Legions, so it's going to be a very interesting matchup. But first, let's have a look at the Dunland profiles. So that is Gorov Iron Skin. He's Fight 5, Strength 5, Defense 5, but he does have Heroic Defense. So even though he's a little bit of that softer defense, he can play the off-tank role. He's got 3 attacks. He's a beast, an absolute beast. And then 1 will and 1 fate with the 2 wounds. He has got 2 axes and a dagger. Of course, that's why the 3 attacks. And key, he's got heroic strike and heroic defense. At the start of the fight phase, if Gorov is engaged with an enemy hero, he can call a heroic defense for free. So against those big units, he is a fantastic tank. Then we've got Frida Tallspear. Let's go and switch over to our angle here. We can see the boys making their big push there. Look, Dan's watching nervously on, seeing how Ryan chooses to manage his engage. And then we've got, let's see, where's Frida? Frida Tallspear. That's our Dunlanding warrior princess. And I think, oh, there she is. She's on the back left of the Dunlanding line. And she's, of course, got her spear. So she'll be ready for that spear support. So she is Fight 5, Strength 4, Defense 6, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and 3-1-1 on the heroics. She's got heroic defense as well. So some really survivable Dunland heroes here. And she's got readied stance. Cavalry models don't gain extra attack against her, but there's no cavalry in Dan's list. And then she's also got an ability to wound horses. So she is basically anti-cav, and that's pretty much unused in this game. So Frida is essentially just a Fight 5 3-might chick with a spear and a shield, which could be important if she gets engaged on the front line. Now over on the left flank, we can see here that Ryan's... Ooh, he's doing a bit of a disengage here on that flank, trying to draw Dan forward. It's going to be interesting to see if Dan takes the bait here. and pushes in. That's just a whole bunch of wild men led by the Oathmaker. I've got to say, these are two incredibly beautifully painted models. Or painted armies, rather. They are absolutely stunning. So Thryden has pulled back. They're obviously going to be well out of that 6-inch charge range. And Dan's having a bit of a chuckle there at seeing the disengage. So look at how these battle lines are shaping up after the first turn. I don't think there's going to be any shooting. Let's have... What do we got here? We've got, so there's one crossbow. Oh yes, there's an Urukai captain with shield and crossbow in the Isengard Legion. And then, what have we got here? I don't think there's a single bowman in the Dunland force. So we're going to have some pretty short shooting phases, and the captain moved this turn. So no shooting. So, we're having a think about some heroic combats, I think, guys.
He's a warrior, yeah.
Let's have a look at our wild man Oathmaker while we're waiting. He's got Fearless and Hatred Rohan, although that does nothing here, of course. And then he's got We Will Die for Saruman. All men of Wild Men of Dunland included in the same army list as the Wild Man Oathmaker gain the Isengard keyword. Now the key thing about that is it means that they change the way that they're breaking. Which is absolutely amazing for the Isengard faction. I don't know if it plays into the Legendary Legion. We'll see how it goes. So, that is all of the named heroes, of course, apart from the amazing Thryden, who's just a huge beast. Oh, we've got the first combats going down. Let's have a look at what's happening. So, on the left there, we have Dan with the Isengard symbol, and then
of course, you got the banner,
the dice on the right is Ryan. Yes, we've worked that out correctly. So Ryan's using his banner there.
It's going to be the real test of the game, rolling in.
Oh, no, 5. So I think I'm just...
Beautiful, another 5. So Dan has clutched that, I think.
Yeah, burn a second might. So I'm down.
Whoa, Ryan is burning 2 points of might here.
Oh, and you pierced, so that's +1 strength, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Ooh, piercing strike as well. Ryan's going big here, so I think this must be Gorov.
4s, and then a 5.
He's got the 3 attacks with his spear support.
Whoa.
Oh, he's just got the kill. So Gorov has gotten the kill. He had to spend a point of might to make it happen. But I do believe that might have been a heroic combat. Yes, it was. All right, I need to pay more attention to these heroics. That was quick action there. So Gorov has cut through the front line and is launching forward into a couple. I think he's going to pick up 2. Ryan's deciding whether or not to go for 1 or 2. He's got a couple of pikeman options, but Ryan is spending big. I think he knows that he needs to get a cut through on this shield wall. Let's have a look at our top-down angle and see how that's going to change things. So he knows that he's got to make a spearhead through that left flank to cut his way through and secure that back objective. So he's spending big early.
You don't have to do this next. We can do something else.
So we're going into...
They don't really have any impact in terms of it. Only one other fight. So let's do Gorov. 3 dice.
Alright, so we're going to continue with Gorov's fight. He's fighting just the one guy. He's picked a simple one.
6. You will win it on fight value no matter what.
Oh yes, big 6 for Ryan there, taking all of the Urukai pikemen on fight value, and he rinses the front Urukai. So 2 dead. 2 dead. Oh, and actually it was a shield bearer as well, supported by 2 pikemen.
We've got the 2v2 in the middle there. Now let me just check banner range. Yeah, banner's comfortably in.
Cool, so then we've got 2 Dunland versus 2 Uruks in range of Dan's banner.
Yep, you win it.
And even in spite of the banner, the Dunland have it here, needing 5s to wound. A 1 and a 2, no wounds there. Some amazing Mark Tribe 1s being rolled out by Ryan there.
So priority?
Second turn.
Alright, priority for turn 2, guys.
Stays to evil.
Another big 6 for the Urukai there to claim priority, and now the guys are going to have a bit of a decision to make about whether or not they go for any heroic actions. I'm going to leap back to the chat while those guys have a think about that. Will there be a lot of games casted like this, says Matty Dishner? I don't know, to be honest. This was kind of a spontaneous idea that me and the guys at Bris Vegas Comics had while we're playing our tournament here, and they had a streaming studio, so I was like, why the hell not? Let's give it a go. So, if you're enjoying this, definitely let me know, and maybe we can look at doing this a bit more.
I'll use 2 will, needing a 3+.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. So the shaman is blowing a spell here.
Alright.
Oh, no.
So, not the best start. That's essentially the shaman's job null and voided.
Whoa, so we have had a huge botch with the shaman there.
Spell, so that's right. I've got a few transfix I can throw at some point.
So that was Dan going for Fury, and he spent the might going for the channeled version of the Fury, and he got a 1, only throwing the 1 dice, leaving him with 2 will points left to go for some transfixes. So that is, yeah, I probably would have thrown 2 dice there if I was Dan, but especially if you're going for that channeled Fury. So that is a big move there, a big bad dice roll to go against Dan. He's now pushing in with his Uruk forces just to engage that Dunland shield wall, and it looks like he's thinking about doing a little bit of a pivot on that main shield flank on the west to try and pull that back, but we'll see how he chooses to engage there. So let's have a talk through their lists while we're going on. Tom says he's loving the sound effects. Fantastic. You guys, looks like you guys are really enjoying it. Ranga, is this a game-by-game tournament? So yeah, this is round 1. And we will be doing some other streams as well. Not here on Zorpazorp. We're going to do some streams over on the Briz Vegas Twitch, and then I'll cut those up into battle reports a little bit later on. We've got some fantastic gaming happening here, so I hope you guys are really enjoying it. While Dan is doing the rest of his engage, let's have a little chat through their list so you guys can get a... Oh, he's gone for the full engage here. He hasn't gone for the pivot. He's pulling
goes to 1, but you still
in.
use like a fight and stuff like that.
Okay, so Frida is going to stay in spear support by the way she's being engaged. Dan's just checking how that's going to affect. Obviously, she can only contribute 1 fight value. So, Dan's Legion, he's got the captain who becomes the commander and 15 Urukai, all piked up with the banner and shield. And then he's got captain with shield and crossbow, all shielded up with banner and shield. Running the double banners in this list, it's a must. It's an absolute must. And then he's got the shaman with 4 berserkers, nice and simple. Now the Dunland is where it gets a little bit more interesting. We've got Thryden on horse, and he's in his own warband. Then we've got Gorov's warband, which has a good mix. 3 wild men, 3 warriors with shield, 1 wildman with shield, 2-handed axe and banner, and then a couple of Huskarls, which are the new elite units from War in Rohan. They're 11 points apiece. They only fight 3, strength 4 though, defense 5, but they have a Huskarl, a Dunlanding war axe, which can be used as either a spear or a 2-handed axe. They've got bodyguard though, so they're passing those courage tests. And when they're supporting a fight within 3 inches of a friendly hero, they go up to fight 4. So let's jump onto our second cam and we'll see here. We'll have a look. You can see all of those Huskarls with the beautiful gold plate scale. They are sitting in the center there and they're right near all of those heroes. So if they're in a supporting position, they're all going to be fight 4. So Dan is pushing in with the rest of his Uruks. He's making a bit of a spearhead, ploughing into that kind of longer stable, and he's going to try and set up some catching units to stop the Dunland from breaking through to that objective. Let's have a look here at our Dunland Legendary Legion and see how that affects these units, because that is going to be interesting on how they play. Where's Dunland? Dunland. So many amazing Legendary Legions came out in this book. This is the funnest thing ever. Alright, Army of Dunland. So, death to the Furgoyle. All Dunland gain hatred of Rohan, which doesn't matter here. The range of banners in this army is increased to 6 inches. 6-inch banners in this Legendary Legion. And then the Dunlanding war cry. We're going to have to watch out for this one. Once per game at the start of any fight phase, Thryden can declare that he is using this ability until the end of turn. All Dunland models within 12 inches of Thryden get +1 to wounds. So we've got to watch for when Ryan makes his Dunlanding war cry. So there is our Urukai Commander there at the back. He's the big, hard-hitting Uruk. Dan's playing an interesting game here, keeping his heroes at the back and letting his Urukai warriors do the work. He's got some berserkers on that flank, and he's got some interesting engages happening here. Let's have a look at the way they're going. So it's now Ryan's move phase. He's going to be having a look at those guys up the back flank. We'll have a look at our top-down and see where they're going. That's not our top-down, Lockie. We want F1. There we go. So they're coming in on the flank. Whether or not Ryan chooses to go in on that literal shield wall flank or run around the back, I'd say he's got to run around the back, right? It's perfect for the objective, and he also might start setting up some traps for late game, and as we all know, traps win games. So, let's have a look at the Legendary Legion that Dan is using, and it is the Defenders, no, it's the Assault on Helms Deep Legendary Legion. Here we go, I found it, they're right next to each other. So, You do not know pain. You do not know fear. Friendly Isengard models do not need to take courage tests for being broken until at least 66% of the force has been removed as casualty. So that is big. They've got the beautiful 66% buff. Commander of the Urukai captain chosen as your leader, has 3 attacks and 3 wounds. And then hero models from this force increase their number of models they can include in their warband by 6. So that's why he's got captains leading 15 Uruks, which is huge, 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 huge. And then there's some Urukai Ballista special rules, which don't apply because Dan doesn't have any. So it's a very, very interesting Legion, and it's a really good matchup. Let's have a look at our close cam and see what we can see. Those Huskarls are moving in on the engage. They're going to set up those beautiful supports. We've got that Huskarl moving in on the Wild Men of Dunland, and the Stunning Warrior of Dunland moving in there to charge the Urukai captain. And Frida has gone in on support on the Urukai captain. Interesting stuff. That is fight 5, Dan. Fight 5. Ooh, listen to Dan. He's worried about that. So that is tied fight value with the Urukai captain. I'll leap back into the chat and check with you guys. We're absolutely still going to have the magazine stream, Samuel Cynthia. This was just a special one because we were doing the tournament this week, so we did this instead. But yeah, they're stunning. They're stunning armies, Nick. Absolutely beautiful. Hey, it's Anders Talks Hobbies. Welcome, Anders. Anders is an awesome little channel out of Canada, I believe, who does some great Middle-earth content. I was just watching his Angmar building video the other day, so make sure you guys check his stuff out as well. I believe if you click on his name in the stream chat, that it will fire you over to his channel. But yeah, he's got some awesome content for only like 200 subs, man. I was blown away by your stuff. Excellent, excellent work. Harvey Mayer's joined us. Welcome, Harvey. Always good to have you here. And then let's have a look. Let me switch back. All right, there are some big engages. The Wildman. Ooh, look, he's running around more Wildmen. Oh, geez, Ryan's definitely got the positional play here. But we have to remember, only half of the Dunland, of the Urukai forces engaged at the moment, and they're going to be able to resist a serious bit of pain. But of course, you know, really, Ryan's kind of engaging a small portion of the Urukai army with a large portion of his. It's only Thryden and a small selection of warriors, perhaps the Oathmaker. Ooh, Thryden's gone in hard here. This is an interesting move by Ryan. He has pushed in. He was probably hoping to lure Dan forward, but seeing that Dan hasn't gone in, he's just sending his whole force in now. Thryden's the only one who'll be able to make combat, but of course, Ryan lost priority, right? So he's not going to be able to be countercharged this turn, so he's clearly setting up a heroic combat, I'd say, to cut through that one Urukai, and then get in and do a big kind of pinch through on the inside of that line, that shield wall here we can see on the right. Man, I've got to say, this is awesome. I love commentating and just playing. I get to really watch everything unfold. This is so fun. So that's Ryan's move over. We've got no shooting, so we're going to be into combats. Let's see where the guys decide to go.
Let's fight.
Okay, now I have priority, so if you want to call any actions.
Alrighty, over to our dice box. What is going to be our first combat for the turn? I think... Let me just check that we... let me know if you guys can still hear me and everything's coming through nicely. I want to make sure that I've got... yeah, sounds like it's all looking good. I have lost my audio of my boys, though. And that's okay. We'll get that back in just a moment. So, we're going to be moving into the combat phase. We can see Ryan here is desperately checking to see if we've got the...
So we'll go straight to
to see if he's going to call any heroic combats. Where are we going to go first? Oh, we've gone in hard. We've got 2 dice on 3 dice. That is Urukai. And we'll switch over to our close camera and we'll see what the action is happening here. We've got our dice cam there down in the bottom corner so you guys can follow. The Urukai have won and they're putting in... No, Ryan's won, sorry. And they've put in big strikes. And that is Thryden's heroic combat going off and absolutely ripping in. He has ploughed forwards on that right flank and gone in just as we expected. And that is going to set up another little pinch here. So he is potentially going to be able to cut right through, which is going to be for some scary business indeed. So which combat are we going to go to next, boys? Let's have a look. Thryden's set up. They may continue with him. I think it looks like they're going to. And then that's going to make a pretty big hole if Thryden can rinse those 2 dudes. He is just an absolute beast. An absolute
okay,
beast.
so let's have a look.
Before that's going off, so Dan's got priority, so he gets to choose the fights. So he isn't going to bother choosing Thryden just at this moment. He's looking over at the main shield wall, and we're going to jump into that center combat, which is going to be just Urukai fighting Dunleys. We've got a warrior there fighting the full big three-pike run. Dunland have gone for the shield with the banner reroll to get themselves up, and they have only managed double twos, which is a good roll for poor Ryan there. And now Dan gets to go in. Oh, we have lost our dice cam big time. We've had some overzealous rolling there. I'm sure Liam will be picking that up very quickly. We'll see if we can have to unfold. Here we go. There's Liam's beautiful hand. I wonder who that was. That's got to be Dan, just getting extra violent with the dice camera there in his excited rolling. Watch the boys reset that camera there. So we've got Dan's ready to make his wounding rolls.
Okay. Well then, in that.
Dice cam is almost back to perfect. So he's got the 3 Urukai bearing down, and he has rinsed that Dunland warrior there, annihilating him. So that's the first kill, the first Dunland dead on the board. That has worked out pretty well, but we're going to see which fight we go into next. So we're moving along into the next fight. Let's jump on the close angle, and we'll have a look at that one. And it is just... Oh, this is Gorov. So this is Gorov fighting a big wall of 3 pikemen, and he is supported as well. So 4 attacks for the Dunland forces, and they're in range of their banner. They can only manage a 3 high, I think, which is shocking. Don't want to spend any more might there, so it goes to the Urukai, and they get, looks like 4s, so that should be no wounds there on Gorov. So, interesting stuff. Not managing to cut through. Ryan would have been looking for a kill there to keep putting pressure on that central shield wall. The flow of battle is certainly going early to Isengard on this flank at least. We're moving over to the next fight now, which is just, I think that's the Urukai captain fighting against Frida supporting a warrior. So, lots of dice on both sides of the fight here. Oh, it's rubbish rolling though. We're only 4 high for the Uruks, a 1 for the Dunland forces. I'm going for a banner reroll. Ryan's he's begging for it, and it is a 4. So it is tied fight value. Dan has got his banner reroll, and that has grabbed us a 4 as well. So we are locked up at 4 apiece. I don't know if the boys are going to spend any might. Otherwise, it is going to go down to a roll-off. So, let's wait and see. Are we going to go for might, or are we going to go for roll-off? It's a big fight. It's the Urukai captain, it's not the commander, and he is D7, so strength 4 for Frida. She is going to need 6s. To wound him, and then as a Dunland warrior, it's strength. I think they're strength 4, it might be 3. So either way, it's going to be 6s to wound. So that one is going to be a key fight. Which way are they going to go for it? Looks like they're going for the roll-off, I'd say. I can see a shadow of a rolling hand. They've done the roll-off, and it has gone 1, 2, 3. So it goes to Dunland, because they are evil for today. And they don't put any wounds on the captain, so he is fine. Our next combat. What is our next combat going to be? We're going to move along now, I think, keep moving up the shield wall. And it looks like I think we might actually have a berserker in there now, or is that just an Urukai warrior? It's just an Urukai warrior with pike support fighting 2 Dunland. The Uruks have got it with the extra dice. Oh, 3 6s, triple boxcars. That Dunland is annihilated. That is a great result. The Urukai are bulk work here. We've got another fight here. 2 Dunland fighting 3 Urukai. Dunland in range of their banner, of course. And it goes to the Uruks, and the Uruks are getting ready to rinse another one here. They're looking for 5s with that strength 4. And bang, there he goes on a 4. So down, that was a wild man of Dunland. They needed 3s there with defense 3. So he was absolutely cooked. We have a berserker. Is that berserker engaged? She is. It's 1 berserker fighting 2 Dunland warriors here. The warriors have got it. The berserker is out of range of the banner. And they're defense 6, right? So they're going to need some pretty serious wounding power, and that is not going to be enough. So that backs away the berserker, and I believe that's all our combats for the turn. Let's have a look at our top-down angle here. and that is a pretty interesting set. So we're moving over to the dice box for priority. Let's see who gets priority for turn number 3. It's going to be interesting stuff here, I think. Oh no, we've got one more fight. What am I talking about? Who is this? That's our last fight over there in the center. Oh no, it's Thryden, of course. It's Mr. Thryden himself. So Thryden has lost the fight, and he's going for wounds. Ooh, I wonder if Dan just struck at his horse. No, he didn't by the looks of it. He's gone for a fate point. So yes, he did. He's killed his horse. Thryden has been unhorsed. That is a huge play from just a simple plucky warrior, or it may have been a berserker. Can't quite tell. The house is blocking us at the moment, and that is a big old one there. No extra wounds from the Urukui's fighting. So Thryden bit off a bit more than he could chew, and we have no cavalry models in the game. So now we're going to priority, and Dan keeps rolling it under the secondary box there to keep those dice from not touching. It's a 4 and a 2, and priority is with Dan for the 3rd turn in a row. Alright, while those guys make up their moves, I'm going to quickly duck off comms for just a moment. You'll be able to hear the boys playing and see if I can fix up my secondary audio. I'll be back in just a secondy.
Okay, so just to confirm, so it's Oathmaker,
Oathmaker,
who will be in range of all of it.
all of them, and he'll call them move.
Alright, and just to confirm, I've got 2 might for Thryden, 2 for Frida, 1 for Gorov, and 2 for the Oathmaker.
Correct.
1 for the captain.
Too.
Yeah.
Hello.
Cool.
I have no audio from Discord anymore for some reason.
Okay.
It says you're still in
Oh yeah, so that's going to be your heroic.
I might have a look at Frida in there too.
Yeah.
Camera angle I'm on. Hello everyone. Thought I'd
Hello.
pop in. Looks like
See
I'm
how we're going.
going very interestingly. Priority 3 turns in a row, Dan.
Pretty handy.
It helps
Yeah.
when I have no might.
Yes, that's right. The shaman, that was a transfixed botch, right?
No, Fury.
Yeah, Fury, but it was
But
channeled.
but we were saying he has 1 will left for
a transfix.
For a
Okay.
Hail Mary transfix.
Interesting.
I'm going to call a move with Frida.
Ooh,
With
going in
Frida?
for the move.
Yeah, making me use them by winning priority too much.
Yeah, and you called a combat and spent might with Gorov to win.
Correct.
Yeah, so you're burning might at the
I'm
moment.
chewing through it.
Yeah.
Biden did as
I'm
well.
catching up.
Yep.
for
Yeah, I
mine.
saw Thryden's combat, but now he's lost his horse, which makes it very interesting indeed. Now you've got 6-inch banners, right, Ryan? Savage. All right, boys. Well, enjoy.
Okay.
I thought I'd just come in and check in while we're fixing my comms so I can hear you again.
So you are going Oathmaker and Frida.
Correct.
I will not challenge.
Right. Okay. So let's do Oathmaker first.
Yep. Oh yeah, we're back to a delay. This is weird.
And let's put a dice where he started, eh? That makes it nice and easy to remember.
And break for you is 17.
Yes.
Break for me was 24 because of the 66.
till quarter.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, lucky. I don't think we're going to be pushing for time on this one.
No, it'll be a bloodbath. I've run this army in a scenario once before. They're taking Aveteris, I think it was called.
Oh yeah.
And it was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath. Yes. All right. That is that heroic move done. Now I've got to get my lean on. Now, who does she get? Everyone there up until him.
Probably better if I go around the other way.
And that, damn it, she gets that wild man too. That's
Oh,
unfortunate.
he definitely is. Sorry.
He might just stand still. Stuff it. Alright. Okay, wild man can just tie up that. That's fine. That's a good thing to do for a wild man.
Do you ever find that you sometimes look at the other, like your opponent's side of the table just to get a fresh perspective?
It makes it interesting.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. It's the benefit we have playing war games that we can
Kind of shows
do
things that you
that.
might not be able to see.
yeah.
So I want the guys.
Free to get into it. That wild man charges that Urukai. That's a good thing. That wild man charges that berserker. That's a good thing as well. And let's even tie up that fight value with a good fella there. Him to there. I'm actually going to put...
Those Huskars are surprisingly beneficial, aren't they?
They are, yeah, they're good.
Just that getting that fight 4 into an army like this.
Yeah, it's super handy. I'm actually going to bring him to a spot where he's going to be useful, and the banner's going to get into a universally helpful spot. Now he could take part in the he could take part, which is unfortunate. So but he can't. He was behind the corner, so I couldn't see anyone. So I couldn't charge him. So I'm just going to put him to there. So he's ending within 6, and that's all heroic moves done. They've not been taking part in anything.
Okay, so my regular move, and then just
And the
those
only other guy
and
is
that guy, that banner man.
Yeah.
He's just hanging out, saying hi.
His banner punches beyond that building. It punches out to the other side,
Oh, because they have 6-inch banners.
which is insane.
Yeah, that's right.
So
I
I've
knew
got-
I was forgetting something.
If I've got my back to the wall there, I can call in a banner, which they can't see. But
All right. So yeah, you pretty much.
Yes, we've got an hour and a half. Team at Tiberius says, just arrived, any Saruman on the board? No, we're playing with the Army of Dunland Legendary Legion and the Assault on Helms Deep Legendary Legion. So no Saruman, just a whole lot of named Dunland heroes and then a whole lot of Urukai captains. So Dan is thinking here. He's trying to work out how best to engage this shield wall. Because what Ryan wants is him to keep getting bogged down on that maid flank that he's engaged so he can throw his strike team around behind the back. At the moment, Dan's shield wall is just not doing a lot. But they have a chance to really swamp and engage Thryden here in particular.
That's right, because I figured he's like the berserkers who have a high defense.
So potentially a move for Dan is to break his shield wall and swamp Thryden and try and get the kill. But of course, Ryan still has his normal move with that southern portion of forces to then go in and probably not countercharge, but set up for charging a broken shield wall next turn. So it's going to be interesting. Dan's going to do a little bit of shuffling here of his pikes. Let's leap back over to our second camera to see all those beautiful minis. He's going to make sure he's got all those supports against the big Dunland heroes, because just weight of dice is going to be important here. Look at that beautiful Dunland banner there in the center. So that Dunland banner is nice and close. Was that the one who was hiding in the house? It isn't, so he's actually got an extra banner floating around there, which is going to make things very interesting indeed. Dan's pushing up there. Yeah, looks like he's going for it. He's going for it hard. I think that's the right play, Dan, but it does feel risky. Yeah, look at this. The tactical mastery of Mr. Daniel Jones hard at work. He is repositioning his shield wall there. And, it looks like I didn't notice, of course, because Thryden's now on an infantry base. The second heroic move that Ryan called was actually Thryden. So Thryden has pulled back to that southern group of forces, so they're not actually able to get the charge and wrap from the Urukai. So Dan instead is just claiming some board control and building that shield wall between the two huts. Which is going to shake things up very interestingly indeed. So this is Dan's first time playing Isengard, as he's saying on the chat, but he's a veteran of many, many forces. His first time playing the Legion in any case. That's the move phase over. We have Ryan's normal move now. I don't know if any other models were left out. They're out of his heroic. Yeah, it looks like there were. He's sending that Wildman all the way around the back to be his late game objective capture. And then he's got the big old strike team sprinting up around the back just as we expected. Oh, look at this beautiful camera work. There is our Dunlanding Wildman and a Dunlanding Chieftain leading the strike team. That is some... the goddamn houses are sliding all over the neoprene. We've got a fantastic strike team running up the flank there. So, this is shaping up to be an interesting clash of shield walls. We picked two good forces to go against each other here. Looks like Ryan is actually retreating that banner in the center to run around to the back. So Ryan's measuring the amount of turns it's going to take for him to relocate that banner. That banner was probably a poor deployment. No shooting. no shooting into combat. Let's see where they go. So let's see where they go. It's going to be interesting to work that out. Oh, no.
I won't either.
No combats. So we're going to fight as normal. Dan will be deciding our fights.
Yeah, that guy has back away. So I think I'm just going to go the 3 Urukai on your Wildman and Huskell.
So 3 Urukai fighting up against the 3 attacks just on a wild man with a spear support from the Huskell. Ooh, 5 high. Yeah, we've got banners in range of all fights. Looking for 6s.
5, so drawn combat. So I'll roll the...
Here, this is a great showcase of the Huskarls. Fight 4 for the Urukai warriors, and the Huskarl is fight 3, but in a spear support position, goes up to fight 4 because he's in 3 inches of Gorov. So, looks like the roll-off has been won by the Dunlandings, and they're looking 6s on the grey, 5 on the white, and that is no wounds there. The wild man cutting to cut through. We've got Gorov fighting against 3 Urukai here. Ooh, it's not a strong start from the Uruks. Ones, oh, triple, oh, 4 ones from Dan Jones there. That goes to Gorov, and he will be looking for 5s. Big old slice there, kills himself an Urukai. So, guys in the chat who are listening, let me know, what's this audio blend like? Is my voice loud enough over the levels of the guys who are playing? Because you can hear them chatting as well. Or do I need to watch talking over them a little more? Gonna be interesting. Big banners here. Oh! Wild man. Wild man clutches a massive kill there, all on his lonesome, taking down an Urukai warrior. Savage work there by the wild man. This is a big fight here. We've got Frida supporting a warrior against the captain by 2 pikes. Red on the captain, 5 high, snake eyes for the captain. Still on 5s, and it's 4s for Frida, and then we've got a banner here. No, they're sitting on 4s, so... Oh no, that's a 5 actually, so it's tied currently. Going for the roll-off. Ooh, it goes to Dunland. Needing 6s to wound the Dunland captain here. Oh, there's a big 6! A big 6 and a big 1. So the the Urukai captain is wounded. He's going to drop his fate now. Alright, so Dan's going to keep the fate for the time being and just take the wound.
Okay, so then we'll go back to the Berserker friends. Doesn't really matter.
The Berserker being supported by 2 pikemen. This is a clutch fight for Dan. He'll be looking for wins here. This is a good percentage play, and it's 5s all round. We're going to banners again to try and break these tied fights, and Dan's got 4s. Another drawn combat.
Win one.
Oh, another one to Dunland. Another one to Dunland. That is tough against the Berserker.
Against 5, the wild man or the Huskell on either
5, yep.
So strength 3 from the wild man, and in combat the Berserker's a defense 5. So looking for 3s. Oh, snake eyes for Ryan now, so no wounding. We're kind of bouncing off each other at the moment. Our next fight...
What would not trap me?
Dan's trying to find a way to clear the middle Berserker from being trapped, but I don't think he can be. So he's got a pikeman, 2 pikemen.
Just your lone warrior?
In which case I'll shield up.
Yep.
Oh, strong 6 for the Berserker. Finally a fight going to Isengard. And no wounds on 3 dice. Crikey, that's unlikely. So that was the fight up the back there. And then there's 1 fight left in the center. A Berserker fighting 2. Huskell, support.
6.
Oh, 6s.
Sorry. Oh, actually, I don't think...
Are you in range of the banner, Dan?
So you win it, yeah.
Nope, goes to Dunland. Dunland have been winning these fights.
And he is trapped, so...
Oh, double strikes on the Berserker. This is bad for Dan. This is a big play here. Well executed positioning by Ryan.
I think you can, but you can only move 1. If you can move 1...
Yeah, I can move 1, just a pikeman. Okay, cool.
Oh, they've called it not trapped. So it's just the 2 strikes, chasing 5s again with that strength 3. We got a 2 and another 1. So no wounds. Very lucky to get away there, Dan. Let's have a look at how that has affected the battle line. The Uruks have just been shunted back a little bit with a lot of losses, and then just lost 1 Urukai in the center. That's all our combats. Let's have a look at priority.
3.
Okay,
Now's your chance. Now's your chance.
Strike now, Ryan. Go. Oh, dear. 2 for the camera. 2.
Still priority for Dan for the 4th turn in a row.
Not
So Ryan's got his questions here.
Might be the only way I can get a priority win.
Is he going to go for heroic moves?
So, do you want to use any might? You still have some with Gorov and Frida.
So, might left on Gorov and Frida. Thryden is out now, calling 2 heroic moves in a combat, I believe.
You're pretty comfortable.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable.
There's no
So,
major
Ryan's gonna leave it?
voice at this stage.
You can have at me.
Have at me, he says.
Okay.
So, where's Dan going to go? He's got options. He can push in, he can try and reform the wall. This is an important priority for Dan to win. He gets the chance to stop Ryan from breaking through and separating those 2 halves of the shield wall. It'll be interesting to see if Ryan comes to regret that choice not to call a heroic move, because he could have effectively created a wedge or a bubble around that left northern group of Urukai there, and encircled them with the other Urukai coming from around the back, setting up some traps even if they couldn't get in combat. So it could have been interesting, and given him a bit of central board control. But he's chosen to let it happen, and Dan now gets a chance to try and make something of this fractured shield wall. We'll switch to our close camera and see how Dan's going on the engage here. He's pushing in, getting all those pike supports. I guess the benefit is that Ryan may have some counter charges, but we'll see how the positioning unfolds. There's Ryan there, I think, looking on and wondering whether or not he should have charged.
And we choose to divide the village between our I call the long pass.
So, what else do we need to chat about? Let's swing over into the chat while
cannot fathom that a lowly peasant just defeated.
I do these chats. I think the balance is quite good. The murmur of the players is just loud enough to let us know they were there when something dramatic happens. Fantastic. The commenting is good. The voices are difficult to hear. Low volume on the players. Cool. Alright, so a bit of glare on the dice box. Cool. So things to improve.
He's been scratching a living off rocks.
Yeah, Johnny Two Hats has a good suggestion that maybe I should switch between the audio and my audio. Unfortunately, I don't have that mixing console. It's all mixed in the other room. But that's definitely something we can try for next time. So this is sort of our first try of this style. So if you guys have thoughts, please drop them in the comments and I'll review this chat. Yeah, as long as I'm commentating, I can keep you guys in the loop. The main thing is I need to be able to hear them so I know what the hell is going on. So, let's swing back over to my console. Let's have a look at Dan's last couple of moves here. So, Dan has decided to re-establish a flank on that objective. This is a key move. Dan is a very seasoned player, and obviously he knew that what was happening back there. But this is my whole point about Ryan not calling that heroic move, is he probably could have stopped that by wrapping around and pinning those units. Whereas now Dan gets a chance to fall back and set up a little tagging force. It is a bloody Urukai Shaman, though. He's probably not the best in combat, but he's got a Berserker with him. He's not willing to throw anyone else, and now that's the end of his movement. Oh, actually, he's still got that flank to engage. Let's see which way he decides to go. We'll switch back to our top-down cam. He's sending... Ooh, is that the Urukai Commander who's just moved up? It is. So the Urukai Commander is on his way back to the center. Hasn't had a big impact on the game yet, but that's okay, because it means he's going to have a big impact later on. Dan's repositioning his banner to make sure he catches the center of that big fight, but you know that he's moving that position. He's migrating his big players here, pulling them back to try and protect that home advantage. Let's remember our objectives here, guys. We do need to catch the objectives in the opponent's scoring zone. So At the moment, Dan's not put too much pressure on that position in Ryan's deployment, but it looks like he is going for it now. He's pushing forward with this shield wall, picking some easy fights, and basically asking Thryden to just come and save that wild man, or at least send in one of the warriors. So that's a good little engage there, and set up that beautiful shield wall so that Thryden can't wrap around into the pikemen. Let's have a look at our top-down screen here, and we'll be able to see whether or not there's much of a play here. So it looks like 6 inches. Normal move now for Ryan. It looks like those Dunland on the left might be out of range of that little group of Uruks pushing forward, but Ryan's not taking that bait anyway. He's taking the opportunity to just charge in and start shoring up that flank with a couple of guys. But now this is very interesting because Thryden is down there on that southern flank. But if Thryden goes down, there's not a great deal to stop those Uruks. Now, who's with the Uruks? Let's have a look. We'll go to our close camera. We can see 4 Urukai warriors, another 5 Urukai warriors, so there's no heroes there. There is... Ooh, interesting. The Oathmaker and Thryden have pulled back to secure the home objective, leaving that poor wild man to die. And that's a play that Dan will be quite happy with, because it's going to allow him next turn to push deeper, exciting stuff. So, the reverb on Lockie could be turned down a tad. Yes, unfortunately, I'm in the kitchen where there's lots of tiles and we didn't have any soundproofing, so I am a little echoey today, rather than my usual self, but that's okay. Yes, the Shaman could be a little bit of a tricky task for him, picking off against all of those Dunland who are advancing. Let's have a look at our close camera. Look at that, Liam's panning over there already. Look at that strike force moving in. Looks like Ryan hasn't gone for the engage on the Berserker. He's decided to just move up with the Chieftain because he couldn't tag the Shaman, so he probably wants to set that up and not expose any risk. And now Ryan's got to decide if he wants to do any shuffling in that central shield wall. So the time is 10:55 local. And how long have we been going for the stream? We've been going for an hour. So the play has been going for about 45 minutes. So we've got an hour 15 left, which is going to be interesting indeed. So I wonder if that is Queensland time or New South time. Oh wow, it's already 10:55 Queensland time. That is racing along. So our round is scheduled to finish at 11:30. Oh, they're talking about me. What do you guys do? So we've looks like that banner has pushed up central now. He's going to give that good spread of banner rerolls, so that's 6 inches to the whole fight. And we'll have a look at this final positioning. Ryan is just umming and ahhing over the best way to mitigate against these Dunland, these Urukai forces. Now, an interesting thing that has happened here, we were talking about this earlier, and we were looking at how Ryan was managing to engage a small portion of Dan's list without with a large portion of his. But now, with the way the strike team was pushed up around the back to grab board control and Thryden falling back on the home base, it's actually switched around a little bit. Are we calling heroic combats? Is that what's happening, guys? Yeah, they're setting up for some heroic combat. So now Dan has managed to set up a position where a lot of his shield wall is fighting a smaller, more beleaguered section of the... Okay, so Dan's going for the might. Alright, so Dan's big leader, we finally get to see him in action, is calling a heroic combat. He's got 1 might left because he's still only a 2 might captain. Let's have a look at the boys and see which way we're going. Is Ryan thinking about any heroic combats? He's having a look. It could be an interesting one. So 3 attacks, 3 wounds on that big old dude. It's a good one. It is an absolute good one. Interesting. Calling a heroic nothing, says Ryan with Gorov. So he's saving Gorov's might. Obviously, the play here, the play here that Dan is making is trying to bait Ryan into heroic striking, so that Ryan's not calling any heroics. It looks like. So 3 attacks for the leader, and he is fighting against a pretty little bunch there. Oh, savage with the pikes, big 6s. Absolutely smashes him. So the Urukai Commander has rinsed that wild man, and now where Dan goes is going to be so interesting. Is he going to engage the central shield wall, or is he going to slingshot to the back of the board? He could go for the Huskal, avoiding Gorov, or he could go all the way to the back. It's going to be very interesting. Let's have a look. He's thinking about it, and he is going... It looks like he's going to go in central, I think. Yes. He's got to actually... He's thinking about Gorov himself. So Gorov's got 3 attacks. The captain's got 3 attacks. They both fight 5. That's true, actually. Dan has made a good point. If he engages, all that's going to happen is that he is going to... Yeah, so he's gone into the Huskal there, which is going to work quite nicely. Oh, and he's got a warrior with him as well who gets to move, which is going to add an extra little attack there. So we've got a trap here. Let's have a look. We go. So this is the captain fighting against a single warrior. And he's got 2 Urukai with him, 1 pikeman and 1 warrior. So that should be 4 attacks for Dan in the left-hand dice box. Let's see if I'm reading it properly. I am. Fantastic. Oh, extra. Oh, yes, extra pikeman in there. And then 2 dice for shielding. And yeah, that is absolutely rinsing that warrior. Out he goes. There's almost worth calling a heroic combat there. That would have been quite a good push through, but Dan doesn't have a lot of might. So Dan's got a berserker now who's backed up by a pikeman, and it looks like he is fighting a warrior with the 3 attacks. And, oh, a big 6. Dan's going for the banner reroll, and he doesn't get it. So the Berserkers just aren't managing to do a lot of work today, which is interesting. And they're getting pushed right back. So that is the Huskal and the Oathmaker and the Wild Man going for wounds there. And now we've got another Berserker getting absolutely rinsed. He takes 2 wounds and it doesn't even save any of his impervious to pain saves. So that is another Berserker gone, which is a big loss for the Urukai lines there. There's such a dynamic presence with the Berserker Blade special rule with the 2 attacks. We've got 3 Urukai fighting in. Oh no, it's 1 Urukai supporting a Berserker, and he is not in range of the banner, so he's clutched a bit. Oh, he is in range of the banner, but it's not enough. Ryan's still got it on 5s, and he will need 5s again to wound this Berserker. This would be a huge loss. 2 Berserkers in one turn would certainly see the Urukai capitulate a little bit here. Here comes the big roll, looking for 5s. No wounds. So on to the next fight. And Dunland have got it again. And no, Dunland have lost. And big old wounds. But the Berserker strength 4 not able to cut through there. So no wounds. Alright, where are we going next, boys? This has been a little bit messy. Not a lot of trading of blows here. We'll switch back to our main shield wall and we'll have a look. Looks like we're going in another fight in that central region. It's swinging to Dunland again. Ah, the banner clutches it this time, bannering up to a 6. Dan's got 3 strikes. And he fails to wound. Up next, we've got another fight here. We're going in that central region. Let's switch back. It is a wild man and a Huskarl supported by a couple of pikemen. Or are we doing Gorov's fight? We might be doing Gorov's fight now. That's the main fight that hasn't fought in this region, and it will be 3 pikemen fighting Gorov and a Huskarl support with no heroic combats, no nothing. It's just a big old fight. But up first, we're going to do the Urukai Commander. Now, the Urukai Commander, he'll have 3 attacks. Looks like he's just fighting that Huskarl up the back. So it should just be 3 attacks on 1 Huskarl. There we go. Big 6s. Big 6s. And oh, the Huskarl, it was actually fighting Frida as well. 2 attacks. So he charged them both. And Frida, it looks like, is going to spend a point of might to make that a 6. And then that will tie the fight. So that's going to be interesting. They've gone to the roll-off, and it's gone to a 5, which I believe will mean that Ryan has won that, if that's a heroic roll-off. We'll have to wait and see how that one plays out. So if the captain is that central presence in the middle of the shield wall for the Urukai now, and we've got a pretty serious kind of opportunity for Gorov to cut through. And yes, it's gone for victory. A roll off to Dunland. A roll-off in favour of Isengard, and the commander has annihilated the warrior there, the Huskarl, and then striking against Frida with 2 dice, 2 3s, no wounds on the Dunland warrior princess, who basically looks a bit like Xena. As far as I'm concerned, she is a badass. So, that is a pretty spicy fight for Isengard to win. Now we've got Gorov's fight, the big fight in the centre, which is going to be a big one. So that is 3 dice for the Urukai and 3 dice for Gorov. Gorov's got it on a huge 6, and he's looking for 5s to rinse that pikeman at the front, and he annihilates him. So Gorov, the 2 leaders, or the 2 kind of big bruises hitters, one is a leader and one is just a big choppy chop for the forces of Dunland, are doing a bit of work. They're doing a bit of work. They're getting some kills this game. The next fight along, I believe, is just some, is 4 pikemen? Who on earth are they striking against? Let's switch back to our larger fight. Oh, that's against the Wildman of Dunland, of course, down on the southeastern flank, and he is annihilated. So that will be the turn. I think we've got no more combats up the back. This is going to be an interesting one. Let's see who is going to grab a priority for the next turn. It's going to be a very important role here, as they all are. We've seen 4 priorities now go to Dan in a row, which is going to be interesting. So I think what I'm going to do is leap into the room once they've done priority, have a check on their breakpoints, see how they're going. It's a big 6 for Dunland, and it finally swings to Dunland. So whether or not they call some heroic moves is going to be a very interesting decision for Dan to make. I won't go and bother him yet. We'll let him make that decision, and we'll run in there when he's moving. Let's think about how much might Dan has left at the moment. It's not a great deal. The commander has spent 1 might, and I don't think the captain's spent any. No, he's wounded, but I don't think he's spent any might. So he's down to 3 might because he's such a low might army, which is going to be very, very interesting indeed. So let's see. He's measuring it up. Is he going to go for it? Oh, there we go. I've got my third camera back. He's spending it. I can see him writing in the book, so he is calling a heroic move. Now, is Ryan going to counter call? I imagine he's going to call that with the captain. He's not going to waste the commander's might, and the shaman's might is down. So yeah, he's measuring that out from the Urukai captain, so that is going to manage to grab most of the shield wall, as well as the shaman and the Uruk berserker at the back. Oh, who didn't die, actually. He ran down there. So there is still those 3 berserkers in play, because he's got... How many berserkers does Dan have in his list? He's got the 4, so just 1 has died. So there are still 3 Uruk berserkers on the field. I wonder if Ryan is going to go for the heroic move roll-off. He's umming and ahhing over it. It's going to be an interesting one. Because once again, it's all about... he's just bleeding might points. I think Ryan is going to let him have it by the looks of it. Yeah, there goes Dan for the Senators, a good boy. Dan has got a pretty interesting heroic move to make now. There's a fair bit of might still on the Dunland side. He's not out-mighted yet, but there's going to be... so probably could have looked at calling one there, but just to keep kind of forcing the initiative and cutting through. But I think Ryan's trying to play the longer game here. So the captain has gone in, moving first on the wild man, and then we've got the Urukai Commander, who's of course affected by the heroic move. Now where he goes is going to be key. The Berserker is going to push in up on that top model there. The other Berserker will probably run in and do the same. He's trying to tag that spearman, but he's not able. So Berserker there first, tagging that Dunlanding, moving up those pike ranks, and then the Berserker is going to hit that Dunlanding warrior. There is one Huskar floating around being supported, but there's no way they can get rid of that, unfortunately. He's moving the pikeman into supporting position, or is that front on combat? He might be setting up some extra... yes it is. So, Dan has put a pikeman in base contact with the wildman because he's obviously trying to set up a heroic combat for this turn as well. So this is all of the captain's might going to be blown. There's an Urukai warrior pinning Gorov. And now, who else is left in? Yeah, he's going to grab a couple of those Urukai. They're going to be useful to try and pin those various forces, but it is going to stop them from charging those two wild men on the left. As we push in, I'm just going to come and duck back in and check with the chat. He's reforming somewhat of a shield wall there with the pikemen, but I think some of those, those southern shields do look like they were in range, so they're going to be able to form up nicely to protect the flank of the Urukai. But there is a banner there who's ripe for charge, so Dan will probably put a move on that banner very quickly. I'll just see if you guys have any questions for me in the chat. Love your vids, Lockie, says Toad Jam Cook. Welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Kenny's loving the stream. Fantastic. You're gonna love the video I'm uploading tonight, Kenny. There's a little reference in there for you. You'll have to pay attention to that one. All right. So the Urukai Commander has gone in on Frida. It's gonna be a big fight. That one, a really big fight. That could be pretty integral to how the rest of the game flows in this central region. If that Urukai Commander or Frida manage to flash kill their counterpart, could be very interesting indeed. Frida Tall Spear. She's got 2 wounds, 1 fate, so absolutely killable in terms of flash damage. But of course, as we know, so is an Urukai Captain, unless you've got 3 wounds. So, interesting. But I sense a heroic combat coming for the Dunland side from Gorov, because Ryan's not going to want to let that happen. So, Dan now has a choice. Oh no, we're into Ryan's move. He is going to go in and pin and have a look at that, and have a look at making some moves. He's tagged that Urukai Berserker, and he can't get in combat with the other wildmen running around. There's just not quite enough space, so instead he's going to tag up on this Berserker. A really strong roll from that Berserker would do him a lot of good there. I think Dunlanding Chieftains are only fight 4, so I think the Urukai Berserker will be tied on that fight. I'll switch to closed camera so you guys can see. So yeah, that Chieftain down there on the right-hand side with the amazing shield conversion. Let me flick through my book here. Oh, there we go, so I just went past him. Dunlanding Chieftain is fight 4, so he's going to be tied. He's going to be tied for... Oh, you know what's absolutely awesome? Flicking through the profiles of these books in the army book, they're all in the same list. They're all in Isengard, so they're all together. So yeah, that's if the Urukai Berserker can fluke a 6 there, he's got a great chance of staying alive. Otherwise, he is basically guaranteed to die. It's going to be an absolutely interesting combat when we get there. Let's have a look at how the rest of the move phase is shaping up though. We're down with Ryan now, and he is going in and starting to move up his lower ranks, and it's going to be interesting with priority to see how he chooses to engage that Urukai force on the right hand side. So I'm going to be back in just a couple of minutes. I'll go in and check in with the guys, and we'll see how things are going on the ground. Back in just a moment, guys.
5-point peasant. Alright, we got him coming up, that's good. Thryden. Hello, boys.
Hello.
I've lost Discord again. Hello. Some interesting stuff happening here. How are we going with might and things? You've got one left with the captain now.
One on each.
And one on the commander. Yeah, cool. Just the one heroic combat on the commander and heroic
It
move.
still has 7. Oh.
7! So,
Oh my
where's you got
gosh.
3 on the Oathmaker, Ryan?
2 on Thryden, 1 on Gorov, 1 on Frida, 1 on the Oath, 2 on the Oathmaker,
Yeah.
1 on Vanak.
Oh, right, the captain,
Bonak.
of course, because he
Bonak.
called a march,
Bonak.
didn't he,
Yeah.
early up? Yeah. Yeah, the little strike force is working deep into the Urukai deployment. It's gonna be interesting to see how that shapes up.
There's a couple of things the game will pivot around, I think.
Yeah, I think this fight between the commander and Frida is going to be pretty big, and where the captain goes and what he does.
It all depends. Like, if I can get my heroes to kill a couple of those guys, like get their troops down, and I can get the numerical superiority, then I've got time to work. But
Yeah,
we're 1 for 1
absolutely.
at the moment, and they are much cheaper than my guys.
Yeah, that's true. What's how close are you guys to breakpoint?
I'm 24 and Ryan's 17, so 3, 6, so 10 more for Ryan.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 for me, so 16.
Yeah, cool. Okie dokie. All right, enjoy, boys. I'll go check Liam. How do I get out? I'm sure it's
85 people watching. Oh, there we go. We know exactly how long the game's gone for. Started 80 minutes ago.
Oh,
Give or
nice.
take 15 minutes.
Give or take, yeah, because it would have started. All right, well, we're only, so we have 2 hours and we're only maybe an hour in, so.
ballsy.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Legend.
Move the-
So we've got a really interesting fight shaping up here. I think it's. We were just chatting in the room, Dan and I, about some of the pivot points of this match, and it's all going to be about Frida and the commander, and where I suspect the Urukai captain goes with his heroic move or heroic combat. So there's 1 point of might left on each model for Dan, and there are 7 points of might left on the Dunland side, which is going to make things very spicy indeed. The Urukai forces for Dan are falling back, so they're not going in so hard. Ooh, he's doing a bit of a split. He's doing a bit of a split, setting up for a future push, I would say. Because at the end of the day, even if he can just outnumber the Dunland forces close to the end of the game, that could be enough. So it's going to be some interesting stuff, some really interesting stuff to watch this all unfold. We'll be moving into the combats in just a second. And then no shooting, of course. There's never any shooting in this list. And now we've got some really interesting options here at the back. So, obviously we're going to be getting, I would say the Wildman Chieftain is going to be calling a heroic combat up the back there. So that is a combat for the Chieftain. He's going to come flying in that flank. And then we're going to have some pretty interesting heroics. We'll have to wait and see how those unfold. So, Ryan is marking a point of might off the Chieftain score. And then Dan is going to be having a look at his next call. And he is having a think. He's going in for the Urukai captain, as Lockie predicted. So, Lockie is on the money there with the Urukai captain calling the combat. Who have we got next? Any more from Ryan? Ryan's having a look at Gorov and Frida. There could be some heroic strikes in the offing. Let's have a look at the close view. Oh, Ryan's definitely called something. Some audio would be excellent right now. We've got, you guys can probably hear, but I can't. So that will be potentially Frida calling a heroic defense. She's right there in the thick of it, which is going to make things very interesting indeed. And then it looks like Dan may have called a combat with the commander as well. So we've got potential strikes coming in too. So our options are essentially heroic strike for Gorov, heroic defense for Gorov, or combats, or Frida can call defense or strength. Now, she's obviously not going to have access to strike, so we know that that is off the table. While those guys finagle that, I'm going to jump in to the chat. Liam says, what's going on? How long will this last? There is half an hour remaining of the game time. No, 45 minutes of game time remaining, because we started 15 minutes into the stream. So, yes, game time started there. 1:15. We started at 1:30. Yeah, beautiful. So there's 45 minutes left of that another of the rest of this battle. Let's switch back to our main view and we'll have a look. Looks like we're going into the heroic roll-off now to see who is going to be launching first. Oh no, we're into our first heroic combat. So it's 2 dice apiece. Dunland's going for the banner reroll, getting a strong 6 with that banner. And let's jump in on close view and find out who on earth this combat is about. It will be one of our heroics, and there are 3 dice down here, and that is our, yes, it is our Berserker on the right there. The Berserker has got so many saves to take, but it is not enough, and he is cooked. So, the heroic combat with the Wildman Chieftain is going off, and there's going to be a lot of board control claimed by that play. Excuse me. Alright, so the Chieftain can go in. He's in range to charge the Shaman, which is very, very interesting indeed. And now we've got the Wildman moving in as well. So the Wildman can't make the charge, I don't think. No, he's not in range. So the Chieftain has gone into Dan's banner, which is huge, and then the rest of the forces are just pushing up, sending those guys in. It'll be interesting to see if Ryan leaves someone at the objective or if he's just going to push hard. So he is going to drop someone back at the objective rather than fighting in tight. There's still 45 minutes remaining, so we will get to quarter, I would say. That will be the end. So that is a good play for the Chieftain. And Ryan's having a look at the board there. And let's have a look. What do we got? Our next heroic combat to go off. Dan is building his pool of dice. This is going to be our captain. So, 4 dice for Dan, and it looks like he's nailed the 6. And we'll go into our close cam as we see this model get absolutely annihilated, and that heroic combat has gone off. So, the Urukai captain, where does he go? Big decision, Dan. Is he going to go for Frida, or is he going to go into the Huskarl? Now, the Huskarl control zone is a bit of a problem, so he's chosen to go straight into the Huskarl itself, interestingly enough. Doesn't look like, and Frida has been tagged by a simple warrior. So he's not looking to make the kill on Frida, he just wants to pair her away from the Urukai Commander. An interesting play. Now, if the Urukai Commander has set up a heroic combat, that's going to work quite nicely. I see Dan grabbing dice, and there goes the heroic combat for the Urukai Commander. So 5 high for Dan, 3 dice for the Dunland. Even with the banner, it's not enough. Oh, no, it is. He just gets the 5, and we're down on tied fight value with 5s apiece. And the roll-off goes in the favour of Dunland, I think, by the looks of it. So that is a little bit of a botch there for the Urukai Commander. That's painful when those precious might combats don't go off when you only have the 4 might points and no wounds on the well, I mean, to be honest, we're not even doing the Urukai Commander fight, unfortunately. Lockie is completely going crazy. That was Gorov fighting against the 3 Uruks. So that's not a big loss. The Urukai Commander didn't call a combat. Apologies there for the misread. Without my audio, it's a little tricky. So we've got 5 Dunland attacks coming in strong up against the Uruks. That must be down on the other flank. And 2 strikes from Ryan, resulting in... There's a few more strikes to come. There's a big 6. And down goes the Bannerman. The Chieftain has rinsed that Urukai banner just in there to the left of that house on our right. And the banner is gone. That is huge. There was no one in base contact with him, or there was? No, it doesn't look like Dan's able to do a banner swap. So that is 1 banner down. Banners, of course, aren't VP scoring, but of course they're handy to get rid of. So we've got 2 dice for the Urukai. It's 2 attacks from a shieldsman and a pikeman, and fighting against... Oh no, it's the Urukai Berserker, sorry, up the back. He's on 5 high, and then 5s for the Dunlanding Warrior with shield, and the roll-off goes to Dunland again. Evil, I think it goes to Isengard that time, yes. And that guy is absolutely rinsed by the Berserker Blade. Nice to see the Berserkers doing a bit of work. We're next to our Dunland fight. Looks like we're moving down with the Warriors. We've got another Berserker fighting the Warrior of Dunland. The Berserker has claimed it. Doesn't manage to wound him though, so those two will just back up with the Huskarl support. And now we're into our Captain fighting, I think, an unsupported Huskarl. Which is going to be very interesting indeed. We'll watch this fight play out, and it is on big fours. Oh, with the banner reroll. Oh, I've tied it on fight value with the banner reroll. Oh no, fight value for the Berserker is higher with no Huskarl support, and he gets the kill. The Berserker, the Captain rather, doing the work there. So now we've got Frida fighting a single Urukai with Pike. Frida is on it with 5. She wins it on fight value at fight 5. In range of the banner, asks Dan, and the answer is no. So going in for wounds, and Frida rinses that Urukai pikeman, but got him away from the Urukai Commander, which is the all-important thing. So, which fight is happening now? It should be our Urukai Commander. Look at all those attacks sinking in on, I think it's just a measly Wildman in the end. And, oh, he's clutched it with a 6, Ryan, and the Urukai Commander has lost the combat. And doesn't want to spend any might there, so we're backing away the Commander and all of those models, and then we're making some big strikes for Dunland. Dunland is going to make the roll, just the one, and that's not enough to wound. So no bad luck there for the Urukai. We've got Gorov has fought, so it's just 2 wildmen, or 1 wildman with a Huskarl support fighting against 3 Urukai, and they're going to do their best and see how they go. Oh, it's 6s. No, it's 1s. And goes on fight value, and a big chip. Down goes that Wildman. The Uruks are victorious. There's 1 fight left on this flank with the Wildmen diving in and pinning those 2 Urukai warriors. And it goes to the Uruks. And looking for, it'll be 4s, I'd say, to wound. Oh, yes, he's absolutely annihilated. So chipping away a few numbers there, which is a good outcome for the Uruks. But, you know, there was a big play there with a Berserker dying and the banner dying. That was some good results for Dunland. So that is going to be very interesting. Do we have any more combats on the other flanks? Let's have a look at our top. No, I don't think so. I think that is all of our combats. Let's see any other fights. I don't think so. I think we're into priority. I'll stay here and watch just to make sure, and then I'll come and check in with you guys on the chat. And it's 5, so it goes to Dunland. Dunland has priority, and we're going to let these players make their moves. Now, while I'm doing this live stream, I'm also running a tournament with my other co-TOs, so I'm just going to go and inform everybody about the lunch break timing while these players make their moves, and I'll be back in just a moment.
A whole lot no matter what I do. Really good pocket there, but if I get the right combat, I think I've got enough models. Yeah, I will not call anything. You can have movement there.
Decisions. This is a big one. Let's stop that. Stop him going. He's got no might, so he's just going to kill him. That's fine. Gorov is
Yeah,
fighting
buddy.
the boss. Let's do that. I've got Frida free now. Let's fight him. That's an equal fight. That's good. Let's fight him. That's done. And let's... Yeah! Steady. Vonak can fight. He'll hit him and then just wrap until I fight 2.
Yep. Both those pikemen, yep.
Yeah, it was an epic wrap. That would be a great one to win. Equal fight though, that's the tricky part. Equal fight's hard to secure it.
boys.
Hello.
Can you switch to the wine shot for me?
The white shot.
Looking very nice. Coming on in. We're making our moves. Any heroic moves this turn?
No.
No, I'm holding on to my last might point for the moment.
So your last might points with the commander now?
Yeah. With the leader.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. There was a little bit of killing happening there. The banner gone.
It's exactly why I had to.
Yeah. The heroic slingshot from the back into the banner. Ryan's getting a bit of that pressure coming in from the back now, which is working nicely. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. How many models from break now for you, Dan?
I think I was 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So 13 for me, 5 for Ryan.
Yeah, right. So you're getting him closer to break, but he's paying for it with many lives, but establishing some good board control. So going to be very interesting. Do you get the 66% bonus in your Legion, Ryan, in terms of breaking? No, it's not. It's not in the Legendary Legion.
About losing that pivotal dude.
Yeah.
Huskars, MVP.
Yeah, they've been doing
They
work.
are deceptive. Without that, Isengard just rolls
The fight
through.
4 leaping in.
Yeah.
They
Like,
needed something for
They did,
Keeping close to the heroes, it is working well.
And they're what, 11 points?
Yeah.
So you kind of look at them and go, oh, they're a lot, but
And
they've
Bodyguard
done
as well.
work
They're going to be
here.
the ones that stick around. Thryden is coming in, moving away from the objective. I better get back to my commentary. Presumably they can hear me at some level while I'm in here.
Yeah.
Enjoy, guys. I'll be back.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, I'm back a Rooney. What a couple of turns we have had. Ryan is now just 5 models away from the break point, which is going to be it's going to be key. This is the game that Dan has been playing. He's been taking it deep, taking it long, knowing that hopefully his high defense can shock down those numbers. Ryan's been playing a really fast, aggressive game with some great positioning, and then moving and getting that board control. But he has paid for it with many lives, and he's lost a few Dunland warriors there. So 5 models away from the break for Ryan. That is big, and 13 models away from the break for Isengard. But if we look at the board, if we look at the objectives from an objective state of view, we've got some fantastic scoring options at the moment for Dunland, and the game does go down to quarter. So it's going to be an interesting one. We'll have to see how things shake up. Dunland have made the big play, moving off their home objective with Thryden to start trying to put some pressure on that break point. Ryan has assessed that lower section of the board as his way to get some kills and get Dan sweating about the break. And he's gone in hard. He's got the Oathmaker down there with 2 might. He's got Thryden with 2 might remaining. And he's got a whole bunch of Dunland. Losing the horse from Thryden was very huge, and that was a combat he probably should have won, but maybe Ryan should have just gone into the 1 troop instead of going into both and being a little greedy there. But 3 attacks on the charge. You would have hoped that he would have managed to win that fight and get 1 or 2 kills, but instead he lost his horse, and it was a big outcome. So where do we go from here? It's going to be interesting. We've got 1, 2, 3, less than 40 minutes remaining now. So it's going to be very, very interesting. I'd say that the game may end in terms of break points before our time runs out, which is always nice. You like to see the games come to a natural conclusion. And jump over into the chat and say hello and check in with everyone. We've got, I believe that orcs from the Hobbits are scary. Yeah, they're pretty creepy. Kenny says there's no need to repeat the phrase. He's taking it deep and long. Bazulcam says, love to see playing Isengard on the TV and on the board. We've got 4. Oh, Liam's in the chat. Hey, Liam. 4 cameras in the studio at the moment. We've got a Canon M200 with a zoom lens for the figure cam, 2 Logitech webcams for top down and dice, as well as an M50 for the wide angle. Yes, there you go. Liam, our cam op, is tuning into the stream chat as well. I don't know if Liam can Liam might not be able to hear me. Oh no, Liam can hear playback. What am I talking about? I don't need to run in there to talk to you, Liam. I think our Discord is currently down, Liam, but I'm managing all right so far. But if it came back, that'd be splendid. So, let's have a look now. We're going into some combats. Let's have a look at the flow and see what is happening. We have just had an Isengard warrior get ripped out from or was that Dunland? I think it was Isengard, which is a big play. We've lost a member of our shield company. Going into the next fight, moving along, we're going to be hitting more of these shield walls. There were no heroics this turn, so it was all about just getting into those standard fights. And it is 2 attacks for the Isengard, 1 and a 4, and just the 1 attack with the banner reroll for Dunland on a 1. So Isengard with a fairly middling roll managed to clutch that, and that is the chieftain backing away. And did he just take a wound? He may have just taken a wound there from those 2 Urukai pikemen. So that is a very clutch result for Isengard there. No luck for the chieftain. At the end of the day, he is just a captain with 2 attacks. So, not a great deal there. Moving on to the next fight, we're looking at 4s and 1s, and a big 6 for Dunland off the banner reroll. They're going to need 5s to wound, I believe, and no luck on the wounding front, so the Urukai Berserker just backs away. Up next, we have the Urukai Captain and the Urukai Berserker honing in on a Dunlanding warrior. Which is going to be a pretty savage outcome for the forces of Isengard, I would say. Oh, interesting. A big 6. That may have just been, yes, so obviously the guys ruled that the Urukai Berserker was trapped, and then the Huskarl got an extra strike, brought up the 6, and the wound was failed. Now we're over into the Captain and the Berserker striking on that warrior of Dunland. They got the 6, winning on fight value, and absolutely annihilated him. That is another kill for Dunland, or of Dunland for the Uruks. They are just like 4 kills away from breaking Dunland now. Very, very close. Breaking is going to be key because evil armies run. There is the Oathmaker, though, who will make them all fearless, which is going to play pretty massively into it. We'll have to wait and see. What fight are we moving in on now? So that is our Urukai Commander, and he just lost a fight, I believe. Is that who just backed away? I think it might have been, and didn't manage to make much of an impact. That's annoying. We need those kills. Or is he fighting Gorov? It might have just been the Urukai pikemen. We're going in for a bit of a wounding roll here. No, we've got the big roll here. So this is the Urukai Commander, 3 dice, and Dan has pulled up the big 6s. Oh, 2s and 3s, and another 2 off the banner reroll. Gorov has lost the fight there to the Urukai Commander. This is a big, big fight here. We've got 1 strike. Looks like 3 strikes, no wounds made on Gorov. That is a missed opportunity for Isengard, but the dice went against Dan there. And now we have 2 strikes. It looks like we're going on Frida. No, we're on the fight up the back. So the Uruks have been beaten off by the Wild Men of Dunland and Huskarl support. And going into wounds, no result there. Double 6s for Dunland in the next fight. And that, I believe, is Frida fighting those 2 warriors. They are trapped. So the first one, well, no, the first one can back away. They can both back away safely. So just looking at normal strikes there and no wounds. We've got a Huskarl fighting against an Urukai warrior, which is a pretty brutal outcome there. 101, big 6 for Isengard. And the banner doesn't save Dunland. And there's a chance for a kill here. This would be a big one. Oh, no wounds. Got him on the dice. I couldn't see out of camera. That is another kill on Dunland. That is big stuff, very interesting. We've got a couple more now. Looks like the Dunland Warriors have pushed up against a Wildman who broke into their ranks, and they've really swamped him. Dan is just focusing on like getting the kills he can definitely get. Just 1 dice there, 1 each. The banner helped Dunland, and they took the fight, but didn't manage to make any kills. Where we go from here? That's most of the central shield wall almost fought out. Ryan's just got 1 strike to make on that Urukai warrior, chasing 6s. And he's trapped, but still doesn't manage to wound him. Oh, that was the shaman, sorry. Of course, the shaman's just got the 1 attack. That's why I thought it was the warrior. Alright, where are we off to next? 3 attacks for the Urukai with that rank of pikes and warrior, and just the 1 from the Wild Man of Dunland. And looking for big strikes against the Wild Man. Oh, the Wild Man has clutched the fight on a big roll and bounces off 3 Urukai warriors with his lonesome, but doesn't manage. Oh, against pikemen, defense 5, he even manages a kill. What a phenomenal effort from the plucky Wild Man of Dunland. A good outcome there for the forces of Dunland. They're in strife. They need those kills. They need those kills. We've still got 89 viewers tuning in, so thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this slightly different format for our live stream this week. Sorry that it wasn't on Monday, and it's on a Saturday morning, but we had to come to the tournament. 2 dice for Isengard, 1 dice for Dunland with a banner reroll. Those banners doing big work, but Urukai win it on fight value. They roll 2 dice out of the box, and one of them's cocked, and I can't see. We'll see if that resulted in a kill. I don't think it did. It looks like it just resulted in a back away. So, where are we off to next? Let's have a look at our top-down angle. 2 strikes for the Uruks. 3 strikes, rather, and 1 strike for Dunland. It is a tight fight. No, Thryden gets it on fight value, pushing back the Urukai and getting a chance to make a kill, but it looks like he botches on that roll. A little bit of glare on the dice there, and there are no kills for Thryden. That is rough, rough stuff. Really, really Dunland need Thryden to be making those kills. Where are we? Oh, look at all those dead models down on the bottom there. That is a lot of dead models. Very close to break indeed. Of course, Thryden's horse down there as well. So, that is the end of the turn. That is a pretty serious combat. I might go and duck in and check with the guys and let them know that they have... How much time have they got remaining? We've been streaming for 1 hour 45, so they have got half an hour remaining, which is going to be very tight indeed. So, let's go and check in. Looks like Dan has taken priority again. Unbelievable for Dan, and Ryan has got some chances to make heroic moves. And where does Ryan go now? So, Ryan's 1 priority, actually, by the looks of it, and Dan's calling a heroic move. My apologies. This is a big decision for Dan, where he chooses to go. He's made the charge. We'll have a look at that end position there. He's pushed in with the Urukai Commander, and he has tagged Gorov. Now, Gorov still has might, I believe. So the danger is, well, of course, the captain doesn't have heroic strike to start with, but Gorov is just going to be able to strike up. I think he might have spent a point of might last turn and then lost the fight anyway. The captain has made a move, pushing around. Yeah, basically all Dan needs to do here is just set up the ability to get kills, and Dunland will start breaking, and then he can fall back to, and claim the objectives that he needs to claim. So we'll let Dan do those the rest of those charges, and we will be back in just a second.
This guy is going to use his last point of will.
Do it.
To transfix Gorov.
Yes.
No. Okay. He got excited. He got excited. Look, what can we say? And I'm just making sure.
He had to do it.
He
had to do it.
Okay, so I still have quite a few models that I can't. So pretty much all those guys are charged except these 2. There. It's going to go into there.
It's fun, isn't it?
Oh, when you start running out of models, it's kind of a...
This is the exact sort of game I wanted to have coming to this tournament. Like,
that's good,
moving, taking a control zone, scrapping around. It's exactly what I was chasing. Exactly what I designed this force to do. And I think you did too, so it was a good match.
Yeah.
I can't. If this sort of army, or either one of our armies, takes on something real shooty, we're
going to be in trouble. Yeah, that's really all I can do there, man. So your regular move, and then I can move that pike and whatever you don't charge in that block there.
Gotcha. All right.
And I need to kill 3 more until you start taking courage.
I got to kill 9. I had a good plan. It involved rapping. All right, rap. And
Into both?
nope,
No?
into 1.
Into
And
one.
then
Okay. Yep.
He will go through there and rap, and then the Oath Maker will go to there.
So yeah, you're
So someone, that shaman, yeah, he has been. Some would say entirely useless. That would be me.
Is that
Yeah.
that shaman? Yeah, he's stepping his own dick.
He's proceeded to fail fury, fail transfix, not kill a single thing.
All right, boys. 20 minutes remaining.
Ooh, okay, all right,
We'll
yeah.
crush this in 20. Oh, you got my banner. The only guy I haven't heard.
You switch
bump
to
into is
two-shot formula aim. So we've got 20 minutes remaining. I'm going to come get a bit of this stuff. How did that movement phase go for you guys? It was a heroic move by you, Dan.
Yeah, I used my last point of might just to try and. So I've got number superiority there.
Yep.
I just trying to get. I've broken through. I'm trying to just get the peasants dead.
Yeah, set up and kill those, get those kills.
With the easy.
Like
But
the end
I
of the day,
think it's gonna be
Gorov's
looking
got
dicey.
strike, but you don't. So it's not like you're saving the might point for strike anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Ryan's got a buck.
Yeah, that's true. Now, how many might points does Gorov have left?
0.
Oh, 0.
Yeah,
So he's
yeah, but
out
he's
now.
got he's got the free defense.
Yeah,
so
right.
That
Did
helped him
Ryan
last
has
time.
2 though.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does.
Dryden has 2.
Did Gorov
Oath
strike
Maker has
last
2.
turn, and then that was when you lost the combat? Oh, okay.
Nope. Gorov did a heroic combat and he
Oh, that's
needed
right.
another might to bump to make
Yep.
it go off.
Yep.
And then he called another heroic combat and fudged his
Yes,
wound roll.
it was the combat, yeah.
Okay.
All right, 20 minutes, boys.
We've got-
Good luck.
My
remember
whoa!
those
Look at all these
objectives?
pikes I have left.
3.
I can't hear it. Yeah.
can't. Does it usually cut it in or out? Or is
Oh,
it,
it was cutting in and out, but I just haven't been able to hear it at all.
okay.
So I've just been like going off the vision.
Cool.
When the-
All right. Where do you want to go?
Move that pipe. He's not doing it.
Oh, thank you,
Then
thank you. I do definitely.
So I might have to change settings to make it like permanently stay on.
Yep.
Because it's,
Yeah.
because it's charging right
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet. Cool. Right, I'll go through
Shooting.
Yep.
Combat.
Yep.
Okay.
I got no might. Where do you want to go?
Here it goes. We're doing it. We're doing a war cry. It's got Gorov
Ooh, I forgot about Warcry. All
It's
right,
got-
Warcry's happening.
up to there. So they
So
took our
basically,
jobs.
your hero's there, and then that
Yeah,
peasant.
every
yep.
hero except for
All right, what an interesting couple of turns we've had. I am back in the studio. Out of curiosity, can you guys hear me much when I'm talking to the players in the room, doing my little checkup? Oh, wicked, I've gone and left my glasses on the TO table. It's been an interesting one. So we're jumping into these combats now over on that southern flank, and we have got a whole whirlwind of pain happening. It's quite close. It really is. I think what we'll have a do now... What we'll have a look at now is our scoring. While these guys play out these final combats, we've got a lot of stuff happening. There's a heroic combat that's been called by Thryden, and he's annihilated some Uruks and started to wrap around there, and he's trying to get a few kills down on that southern flank. And this is where Ryan is going to find his numbers, his kills. He's getting close to that break point. That is a VP contingent, of course. So I think we can safely assume that Dunland will break very shortly, and that's going to result in VPs for Dan. If we ignore the breaking and leader VPs and just have a look at the objectives, it's going to be an interesting one. We've got models dying all over the place over here on the second line there, with Thryden trying to do some serious work. We've got a big win for Dunland, and that is some more Urukai getting minced. Those Urukai, just backing away. He's not being killed, but that flank is capitulating for the forces of Isengard, and Dunland have done well there to wrap in and re-establish that, and there goes a pikeman. So some big kills. Dunland and Thryden in particular finally doing some work. These models haven't really been in the game. They've been just holding a portion of the board for this time. There's just the one Urukai warrior here, and he has clutched a big 6. What a fantastic roll for that Urukai warrior, fighting on his own, bravely cutting down a Dunlanding warrior. Now, the high defense Dunlanding warriors, those kills are really important. So moving over to the central shield wall now, and we've got some pretty big fights unfolding here as we see Dunland have made a beat. That pesky little wild man who won the combat and killed an Urukai last turn has been absolutely annihilated. Yeah, it's a sad start for him. That is going to be, I think, bringing Dunland to break now at the end, or the beginning of next turn. They will register for broken. So a big 6 for Dunland in this next fight, and 1 on the wounds, but he got a 6 on the other one. Frida has put an Urukai warrior to the sword. And we've got, I'd say we're doing the 2-on-2 up the back between the Huskarls and the Urukai warriors next. And that is going to be an interesting fight indeed. Let's see where the boys decide to go next. Just the 1 dice and 1-on-2. The Uruks have got it. And the Uruks have got the big 6. Down goes the wild man. Oh, of course, that Huskarl up the back, I'm sorry, has been picked off by a pikeman doing that fight now. Dunland has got that one and fails to wound. Sorry, Isengard's got that one, and they have not wounded him, and the Huskarl simply backs away. That's an important model for Dunland with Bodyguard. Gorov is fighting the Urukai Commander now, and he's also fighting a spear support, I believe. And it's 5s and 6s. The Commander has got it, and he has dropped 1 6. 2 6s, Gorov is dead. That was a massive play. That happened so quickly. It was simply absolute carnage. The Urukai Commander annihilates Gorov. That has changed this part of the battlefield immensely. It gets rid of a standfast from a heroes. It's an extra kill towards the break point. It isn't leader points, but it is the big hitter. He was out of might. He didn't have strike. He lost the fight on the 6, and with the support of the pikemen, the Urukai Commander annihilated him. We've lost a few more models. That's another wild man going down to the Shaman. Amazing clutch by the Shaman, who's failed to do anything this game, really. And then we've got another big fight here with the Chieftain. The Chieftain, with an Isengard warrior, and he gets absolutely rinsed by 2 Dunlanding warriors. So a small victory back for the forces of Dunland there. A big 6 for the Dunlanding Chieftain, and he pushes back those 2 pikemen, and he's going to need, he'd be strength 4, so he will need 5s to wound them, because he's strength 3 base. Let's see, looking for 5s, Ryan, and he kills 1 of them, and pushes back the 2nd. So even though Dunland are losing it, they're chipping away at some of these numbers, which are going to be important for scoring. We got the fight up the back between the Urukai captain and the Huskarl, and the captain has rolled big, and he's wounded big. Down goes the Huskarl. Well, Dunland will be well and truly broken at the start of next turn with that flurry of combats. That just happened absolutely out of nowhere. The low defense models going down, and even some of the high defense models going down. That's the really big thing. So, Dunland is going to be broken, and it looks like Dan just said he is 1 turn off break. Or 3 models off break. So that is going to be very interesting indeed. So we're moving into turn 6, I believe it is. Let's have a look at priority. It's a 5 for the forces of Isengard and a 4 for Dunland. So priority has gone to Isengard again. This is going to be an interesting turn. So while the guys start to do their movement, Ryan's having a look at calling some heroic moves. He's going to call a move with Thryden, or he's looking at it at least. I have a feeling that he's not going to go through with it because it's out of a range of any meaningful charges. Let's have a look at the state of play in terms of objectives. So we'll go to our top-down view. We've got our... basically, no objectives are contested right now, which is crazy for this objective-driven game. But both teams know they just need to kill each other to break apart their models, and they can make a dash for the objectives at the end. I would say that Dunland are probably going to be able to safely send someone back to the left flank and perhaps make a dash for the right, claiming the 2 sides. They should be able to secure their bottom, and Isengard should be able maybe to secure their top. It's really anyone's game right now, because breaking is going to impact so much what models are left. So, We've got some dice being thrown down in the roll box. Love to know what that was for. It looks like we're going for... Is that a transfix or a courage check? What is going on here? Thryden is making charges. So Thryden has called his heroic move and is going in. So there could have been a heroic move roll-off, but I think Isengard are out of might. So they're just pouring in, focusing on getting those kills. Let's see if Liam's got me on the close camera. He does. So here they are leaping in, basically just trying to set up as many traps and kills as possible, whilst keeping some wild men close to run to that back objective. There goes Ryan right now, sprinting to get in range of the back objective. With the larger objective size, it's quite a big footprint. You can fit a fair bit and get pretty close to them. And then he sends the banner up in combat, just an extra attack, but more importantly, setting up the trap. My goodness, don't Ryan's models look absolutely fantastic. Let's go back to our big play. That is everyone. That is the heroic move over for Ryan. And we'll have a look now at the top-down camera, and we can see now that Dan is making his charges. He's going in strong. He's got the Urukai Captain. He's got the ability to wrap and trap. He throws an Isengard warrior over to that beautiful objective on the western side. He's going to probably think about sending someone to fall back to his home objective as well. Yes, there goes that pikeman, and now he's just going to try and pin. This was such an important priority for Dan to win, and no might in the center. Gorov dead, Frida out of might. He wasn't able to do anything about it, Ryan, to counter call that. So that is another objective temporarily held by Isengard. Dan is currently holding 3, and Ryan is holding just his home objective. So we're probably not going to see any breakthroughs, any stealing of the home objectives at the moment. It's more likely going to be coming off those bigger scorings on the home objectives, the VPs off the side objectives, and the break. We can see Dan just kind of pincering, locking everything up as much as possible, even though Ryan would have broken now. Oh, that's what that 2 dice was. It would have been Thryden Standfast. That's why I was confused, because Dunland is broken. And so Dan's just gone to lock him up. I'm just going to lock up the whole Dunland and use my numbers and not try and make him fail any courage tests, because that way I get to fight the way I want to fight, and that's going to mean that hopefully Dan can stop losing any models and not getting to the break. Ryan's in trouble here. He basically needs to try and make some kills to make Dan break, and then hopefully those Uruks will run off. But I believe, as we talked about earlier, this Legendary Legion, just flipping down, it has the 66% break test anyway, doesn't it? Yes, it does. So Ryan's got to make some serious inroads before Dan starts taking tests, which probably isn't a reality with 2 models on the board. So we've got another Urukai going down over on the southern flank there. Some good rolling by Dunland. It was Thryden doing the work again in combination with the banner bearer. And that is Thryden's last point of might, securing a heroic combat, and that sends him and his compatriots flying towards that eastern objective. That's a good play by Ryan. It sets up some board control. He sent Thryden for the objective, but instead of just throwing the Dunland into the objective, he's using those Dunland warriors to jump in and help gang up on the Urukai who are down in that part of the board, just to try and give himself a chance at getting those kills. Then we see the Oathmaker and the Bannerman fighting 1 warrior, and then 2 Wildmen fighting a warrior there. Back over in the center conflict. Oh no, we're probably doing the southern now. Dunland, no, we are doing the center conflict. We'll see if Liam's moved over there. He has. Frida has won another combat, and she's rolled 2 dice, but failed to wound by the looks of it. So that's a big one. Unfortunately, you really need Frida to be lifting her weight at this stage in the game to be able to make those kills. There is a 3-on-1 with 2 pikemen fighting. Oh no, Frida has made her kill. Goodness me. They must have pulled that model out very quickly. Frida has made the kill, and her heroic combat has gone off with her last point of might, meaning that she has jumped into this Urukai warrior here. They're going to continue with that fight by the looks? No, we're starting with the Urukai Commander. Who is that? Yes, that's the Urukai Commander up there fighting a Huskarl, and the Huskarl's pulled a big 6, and he's actually won the fight. Does he manage to wound him? Single dice. No, doesn't look like there's been any wounds put on the commander. Now we'll do the Urukai captain and the berserker fighting against the chieftain. No, we're going for the single Urukai warrior up the back fighting Frida. And he has rolled, I think he rolled a 5 or yeah, he's cooked. Absolutely annihilated. Frida killing 2 Urukai. That's what Dunland needed to try and cut them through. Now we're into the captain and the Urukai berserker fighting the chieftain of Dunland. And that is going to be a lot of dice. They get it on fight 6. Fight 5 rather of the captain, takes it but doesn't do enough wounds to take him off the board. So the Dunland chieftain is still around, which is important because he's so good at courage tests with his 2 will points. A couple of dice for Dunland and re-bannering up on a 6, very nice, but doesn't manage to get the wound on that pikeman with the Dunland warrior. The shaman now fighting against a warrior of Dunland. The shaman clutches a 6. The banner reroll can't do anything, and he fails to get the wound, just backing away that warrior there. And I think we got one more fight nestled amongst the trees, a pikeman versus a Dunland warrior, and the pikeman backs away. He has not been killed. Are there any more combats this turn? I don't believe so. Oh, just the one in the center there. And big 4s, it goes to Dunland. And no wounds, just backing those model. Sorry, goes to Isengard and no wounds, just backing away. All right, up next we've got just some more warriors fighting against it looks like the Oathmaker is getting involved now with the Bannerman. The Bannerman's at -1, of course. The Uruk warrior loses it, and he is killed by the Oathmaker. So another warrior is down. That is quite a few warriors going down for Isengard. They lost a couple there, a good handful, but geez, Dunland lost a few as well. Now we're in to priority. So Isengard keeps priority. That is so huge. Yeah, it's gonna. Basically Dan can now set up the opportunity to make some charges on Ryan's heroes to negate their standfasts. So Ryan's potentially going to look at calling a heroic move. We'll have to see which plan they result in. There is only 5 minutes remaining. This is going to be very tight. I'm going to go and let those boys know before they make that move, actually.
Sleeve if he fudges. And he doesn't
Ah,
fudge.
he loves it. He loves it.
So, 5 minutes, boys.
So
turn.
last turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's done it successfully. Everyone within 6 inches is benefited, which is everyone except that guy. But that's okay. He's bodyguard. So he's going to move as per what he should do. He's within 6 inches. He can just stay on that objective.
Alright, last turn has been called, and the Oathmaker has called a heroic move and is launching in on that left flank. Let's see which way he's going to go. He's gone and made those charges there, got the standfast off, and everybody has stayed safe. So that is not too bad. Priority is with Isengard, though. Let's see if any other heroics have been managed to be called. I don't believe they have. Thryden is now going to be able to move to the objective if he wants to go that way. He's, of course, nestled in behind the foreground house at the moment. I'll switch that so you can see. So that's him there, nestled into the right of the objective, just out of camera angle, unfortunately. And then we've got a bit of a push there happening from the rest of the heroic moves, staying in range of the Oathmaker's move there. So they are putting some pressure on that objective and just hoping not to run away next turn. The Oathmaker, of course, makes everyone fearless, which is really helpful if they're within that 6-inch bubble of him. Now we are in to Isengard movement. How Dan chooses to engage here could be very clever, because I think he's having a look at it. He's thinking about engaging the heroes and making sure he scores the objectives. Remember that these objectives on the side are worth 2 VPs if you own them completely, and 1 VP if they are contested. I believe that's right. And then we are running into some interesting scoring. The leaders are unwounded at this point, so there's no VPs going that way, I would say. We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. All right, Gorov Thryden rather, has gone and pulled into a tight formation there with his spear support, just setting up so that he's still within range of the objective, but that he's got a little bit of protection. And then where are we going to make our moves next? They're spending a lot of time thinking about these last crucial turns. Alright, so it looks like Dan may actually be broken as well. We'll have to wait and see how that unfolds. We'll move in close. Dan's got a couple of standfast that he can make there with his Urukai Commander, but he shouldn't be taking tests unless he's taken some real casualties. He does have the Shaman, of course, who can make some tests as well. So the Urukai Commander, oh no, he's not broken. He's simply measuring his movement. I would have thought that he would have had to take a lot more casualties than that. So he's pairing up, he's making his traps. Let's get in close and have a look. Frida has been tagged. The Huskarls who have Bodyguard have been tagged. And only the Dunland Warriors are currently unengaged. They're going to start kind of piling up on those by the looks of it. Making sure that they can... Look, yeah, it's all about whether or not Dan chooses to engage those models to stop them from moving if they pass the courage tests, or whether he wants to try and make those courage tests. We'll have to wait and see. The Shaman, I believe... Why is the Shaman just being removed from the board? I believe the Shaman just failed his courage test and ran off the board. Unless we're into combat already. No, I think that is exactly what happened. I think that... The Shaman is definitely run off the board. That is nuts. So he is taking standfast. There is a broken force here, which is going to be interesting. And then we've got an Urukai warrior here who does manage to get in and contest that southern objective. This is going to be very interesting indeed. This is our final turn, of course, so essentially we can probably count that objective to the east for the Uruks, the objective to the objective to the west for the Uruks, the objective to the east is going to be contested depending on what happens there in terms of combat. And then we've lost a warrior of Dunland. So a few serious combats going off here. This action is happening faster than I can follow it, guys. We've got a couple of big combats still to be engaged, and the Uruks will have successfully held their home base, and so will Dunland. So that's going to negate it. If we're both broken, it could come down to some leader wounds here, so we need to keep everybody safe. Looks like Thryden's going in big here against just the one Urukai, and it's a big result for Dan. He's clutched a 6, and so has Thryden. So Thryden is taking that on fight value, and... he is rinsed. So that is a claimed objective for Dunland down on that side, most likely. This is the final turn. That is going to shake things up very much indeed. Dan would have really liked that guy to stay alive, unfortunately. So that is going to be an objective each on the center line, most likely. We've got some big fights over there in the southern flank. That's down on the bottom. It's like a banner fighting just one normal poor dude. He's getting absolutely rinsed, and boom, he is out of there. The Oathmaker puts him to the sword. I don't think the Oathmaker called the heroic combat, so no extra movement there, but those objectives are shored up anyway. So the guys are moving back to combats now over in the central shield wall. We'll have a look at our top down. There is a few fights going on. There's that banner. The banner rerolls coming in big here. And Isengard have taken it, making the strikes. No wounds. 2 more strikes. And somehow that Dunlanding warrior survives. Our next combat, it's the Bannerman fighting a single Urukai Berserker, and the Urukai Berserker fails to kill. He doesn't manage to make that strike there. And then we've got a single warrior of Isengard, or the captain rather. No, it's a single pikeman fighting against Frida and co. Frida puts in... Oh, the pikeman has won the combat. Not really super consequential, doesn't manage to wound her. There's another fight just down there, nestled in the trees. A big 6 results in that pikeman being ripped out of there, and then we have a lovely big fight to finish it, and that is our Urukai captain fighting against the Wild Man Chieftain. So that is an absolutely savage little result there. Looks like it has gone to Isengard. Dan's putting in some big strikes on the Chieftain. He's not trapped, but he doesn't manage to take any wounds. So, how is that going to affect the state of play? Have we got any combats left to resolve? No, the Dunlanding warriors have backed away from the captain. He has survived, but he hasn't managed to make any of those extra strikes. Is that all of the combats done? I believe that's all of the combats done. So, we're into scoring, guys. Let's have a look. We've got each of them hold the center line objectives, so that is neutralized. They each hold their home objectives, so that is neutralized. It's all going to come down to leader kills and break. Both leaders are unwounded, and I believe it's all going to come down to breaks. So I'm going to run on over there, and we are going to do our final scoring and breakdown and see how this match unfolded.
Dunland, man, they're deceptively good. I know you weren't keen on them, but they'll do you well.
What a game,
yeah,
boys.
man.
So, I saw you guys doing your final scoring, and I think I calculated it out correctly. You've each got the home base, right?
Yep. Each got the home base. We've got one apiece on the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We're both broken, but he chipped 1 wound off my leader.
Chipped 1 wound off the leader. So the
Yeah.
leader...
Fate too. It was a 4
Yeah, and a
the
failed
leader...
fate, yeah.
Ah, wow, so the Urukai Commander goes down to 2 wounds.
Yep.
And that gives you... What's that total VP line? It is... you score 1 VP for this bad guy. Yeah, it's like 4-3, I think.
Yeah.
You get 2 VPs for each of those. So it's 2, 3... Yeah, it's 5-4.
5-4.
5-4 for breaking
Woo!
1 objective, 1 big objective.
Good game.
thing.
Real good game.
That was a tight game. Well done, guys. I better go and say farewell to everyone in the chat. Excellent game. Get ready for the rest of your tournament, and good luck.
Yeah. See, the whole way I envisage this army working is because it comes with a might disparity.
You've got to churn it out.
I need the fury. Every hero
Have it,
combat
ladies
you
and
take is-
gentlemen.
Ooh, hang
what
on,
a
you only need
finish.
1
It went
tick.
right down
And
to the
then
wire. If we have a
not
look at
wounded,
our
so the
top-down
plan is
board,
to
both sides scored their
get,
home
you know,
objective. Each side scored a side objective. They both broke each other, but the Urukai forces suffered a wound on their leader, with Frida chipping a wound off the Urukai Commander in the final stages of the game. So it is a tight victory to Dunland, probably coming from behind, to be honest, 5-4. So that was an awesome game. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. That was really tense. That was definitely something new for us here on the channel, doing this kind of style of live stream. So if you enjoyed that, definitely let us know in the comments on this video afterwards, because we would love to do more of them. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have some more streams today. They'll be over on the Briz Vegas Comics Twitch channel, and you'll be able to see a bit more gaming in Middle-earth unfolding here at Return of the Tournament. I will talk to you guys very soon, and I will see you next time right here on Zorpazorp Gaming. Cheers.